up, everybody? It's Dr. Kwame Brown, the neighborhood neuroscientist, aka the Hood Neuro. I want to talk to you this morning about bullying. We talk about that a lot. Kids bully. What is bullying? Why do kids bully? Uh, where does this behavior come from? How can we stop it? Let me tell you a few things about bullying. My buddy John, who's a professor up in Canada, wrote on his blog yesterday, Committing Sociology. I recommend you check it out. But he talked about how we've dispelled the myth that bullying always comes from low self-esteem. And if we say we've dispelled the myth that bullying always comes from low self-esteem, look, I'm cool. You're exactly right about that. However, if we do what we usually do and just make a snap judgment and a generalization in the other direction, I'm not cool. Because some kids do bully because they have low self-esteem. Some kids do bully because they were bullied. They're called bully victims. There's actually a term for that. We have to have terms for everything in psychology. But there are some kids, and in fact, it may be most kids who initiate bullying that have high self-esteem and also are status driven. So it's not just that you have high self-esteem, but also that you're status driven. And a lot of people like to say that things like this are hardwired and biological in nature. People act like that's some just immutable thing about kids if it's biological, if it's hardwired. Listen, even the wiring in our brains that we're born with is affected by environment. We know that through epigenetic research now. So even saying something is natural or biological doesn't make it immutable, doesn't make it unchangeable. So we have to recognize that. Two, when you start letting that pendulum swing in the other direction, you say now all kids who bully have high self-esteem and that's the problem. You run the risk of damaging your chances to help those kids that do have low self-esteem. So there's no magic bullet, there's no solution that replaces getting to know kids. There's no magic bullet or solution or research knowledge that replaces really talking to one another, really creating dialogues between parents, teachers, kids, administrators. We all have to be in this together. We have to attack this as a community, right? We have to attack this from the peer perspective. What are kids doing to help one another? Right? What are kids doing to band together and saying, okay, we don't appreciate how you're treating little Johnny, right? So we have to empower kids to create solutions to this too. Also, we have to give kids outlets. We can't keep sticking them inside and restricting their activities and then expecting them not to be, at least some of them, not to be ticking time bombs, right? So we have to look at all facets of this. So with regard to bullying, let's continue learning from each other. Let's keep an open dialogue instead of making wide sweeping conclusions either way as if they're permanent knowledge on bullying. All right.